address. And Alex, this is something that you've been digging up on. A lot of screaming headlines that, X number of SIPs have been cancelled in the month of April. And why that's important is because it gives an inference as if there is a big panic among retail investors. But your digging has found quite another reason.
No, absolutely. And this has to do with a regulation change from last year. Starting April 2024, SEBI directed mutual funds to tag SIP accounts or SIP folios that had been paused for 3 successive installations as cancelled. Now, this is important because in April of last year, they started doing this prospectively. There was a headline, there were a few headlines that talked about a 300% SIP cancellation in the month of April, and this is misleading. Understand why. First of all, a SIP cancellation is, and this ratio, is basically cancelled SIPs as a percentage of new SIPs that have been added during the month, right? So what has AMFI said? I spoke with them yesterday. They've said that they've undertaken a one-time cleanup of their SIP book in April. And what has happened is that before April of 2024, there were several legacy accounts that were not prospectively cleaned up at that time, and that number stood at 1.62 crore. And so that big chunk of dormant SIP folios was taken out in the month of April. And so as of the 14th of May, in the latest update, the total SIP number stands at 8.89 crore rupees, and that is down from 10.05 crore rupees at the end of March. The contributing SIPs, and this is where this is very important for you to understand, you see that gross SIP flow number, and that's at about 26,000 crore rupees. It hit a record high in April. The contributing SIPs at 8.38 crore is simply the number of SIPs that have contributed to that gross number. So that really is a number for you to pay attention to. Now, why is this important? On a net basis, the number of folios have actually gone up in the month of April by 27 lakh from 8.11 crore in the month of March. What AMFI has said is that this is a one-time cleanup. It's done now. And so on an ongoing basis, assuming that the equity markets now go up as they have done in the recent past, and there are no new changes and focus is on earnings and several other things, that domestic flow and through retail investors, through SIPs, will continue.
Yeah. So I think that's an important clarification to make, that there is no big trouble as far as SIPs are concerned. But we have so much